when it comes to the cleaning business model, what we have been able to build with this, it just worked, right? And we've been able to utilize a lot of what we learned from prior businesses and be able to put it in the cleaning business. And so this is my model. And so there's lots of other business models out there. There's different gurus out there. There's different cleaning mentorships that say do this or versus do that. But ultimately, I'm just going to tell you what my model is. And if you want to go faster and you want to have less decision making, you want to focus on the big things, then this is how we do it. And I would suggest this is how you do it as well. And so this is our org chart, right? This is our Logan 5-star org chart. And so we have a couple job descriptions. We have our CEO, we have our COO, we have our board, we have our GM, we have marketing, we have recruiting, we have sales manager, we have customer support manager, we have cleaning tech manager, we have a training manager, we have cleaning techs, we have customer support specialists, and we have a salesperson. Okay, so these are all the roles that we have in the self-made model. If you actually look here closely, you'll see that under these positions, there's multiple names. So not each person has one role, but some of these people actually have multiple roles. And now the bigger your company gets, the more of these roles can be individualized. But in the very beginning, when we first started this, Katie and I were doing everything. And so if we plugged all these things in here, you would have saw that I was the CEO and the COO. I was the general manager. I was the cleaning tech manager. I was the support manager. I was the sales manager. I was the recruiter, and Katie was the cleaner. And that's kind of how we started out, right? And then as we started to elevate ourselves, we started to replace our names on this org chart with other people, right? And sometimes other people, they got more opportunity and they got to replace us on different names on the org chart as well. And so that's kind of the key to this whole process, is to continue to replace yourself on the org chart. And you can see now that I am outside of the org chart. I'm actually still a CEO, but I'm also a board member, which means I don't have any day-to-day role inside the company. And so this is what I call the self-made model. And when you have this model, man, it just allows you to see what the end looks like. And again, it goes back to clarity. The clarity you get on where you're going, it becomes easier to do the hard work up front. It's easier to go through the pain and the challenges of growing a freaking business, right? It's a lot of pain. It's very much like having a baby. Same thing is with your business. When you look at your business of what it looks like when it's complete, you can start to see who needs to replace you in certain roles. And so when it comes to self-made model, there's a couple big decisions that you need to make. And so we're going to talk about a couple of these decisions, but a few of these big decisions are services offered. And so what we offer residential deep cleans. We offer residential maintenance cleans. We offer move out cleans. We offer small office cleans. We do vacation rental cleans sparingly. So before I touch on vacation rental cleans, you also notice that we don't do commercial cleans. We don't do construction cleans. We don't do hazardous cleans. And the reason why is because we're just not equipped for it. And we want to stay focused on what we're good at, right? And what actually makes us the most money. Now, the next big decision you have to make when it comes to your model is, are you going to provide cars for your employees or no? We don't do cars. And as I started to learn more about it, the people who are the most profitable in the cleaning business, they don't provide cars either. And so not only is it just the upfront investment having cars, but then you have to run teams, which we'll talk about here in a second. You also have to probably do a wrap, then you got to pay for gas, you got to pay for insurance and all these other costs. And what we found is that our cleaners have no problem driving their own cars, right? And I'll explain how we're able to do that, because we incentivize them differently, and just allows us to have less friction when we're able to bring on new cleaners. So we don't have to go buy new cars. We can just bring on new cleaners. And so this has really helped us scale as fast as we have, is because we don't have this big liability of having to provide cars to our cleaners. Now, the next thing is solo versus team cleaning. And so this is something that we just had to learn the hard way. And then eventually we learned that team cleaning is great in theory, but when again, you have a cleaner who calls out or is sick, or somebody who's fired, or somebody who quits, then all of a sudden it messes the whole team up. And also we found out with solo cleaning is that it just allows people to make more money, give them more autonomy, and allow them more personal responsibility. And so now we do a solo model. Now we will still do team cleans when it comes to big move out cleans or deep cleans or initial cleans. But when it comes to a reoccurring residential cleaning, it's always solo. It gives the cleaners autonomy, allows them for a schedule and for them to develop a relationship with the houses that they're going to. But also at the same time, if somebody does get sick or call out, we can also put a different cleaner on there as well. And so just again, it allows us the flexibility to continue to grow our business without having to be held down by having team two. We're only worried about how do we get one person to a clean, not having to get two people there. Another big decision you got to make is uniforms versus no uniforms. And so again, I always think about it from the standpoint of how do I create the least resistance? How do I get the most momentum going? How do I create the least distractions? And we don't do uniforms, right? And so, and a lot of people do, they spend a lot of money on buying t-shirts for people and uniforms to have their company look professional when they walk into a house. And we have never done that. And I've never had a single client complain about them not showing up in a specific uniform or them coming in dirty clothes. Obviously, like we have a dress standard, but we don't have them wear a specific type of clothes. We do have aprons that they can wear that have our logo on it. I think the less of those distractions you have, the faster you're able to scale and the more you're able to grow. And then another big decision is employees versus independent contractors. There's pros and cons to both. The pros to being an independent contractor is that it's much easier to hire people because you don't have to set up unemployment insurance. You don't have to like their state and federal taxes. You don't have to do workman's comp. You can generally pay them a little bit more and then they become responsible for their own taxes. Now, the con to hiring independent contractors is that they must know how to do their own taxes. They must have an independent contractor license to be legit. And another con is that most people who are cleaners, like they don't want to have to deal with having to set up their own taxes and do their own QuickBooks. And they'd rather actually just pay their fair share in taxes and just be a W-2 employee. And so that's what we decided that we were going to do when it comes to this business model is we were going to do W-2 employees because it gave us, number one, more control, and we could dictate whether like how much somebody worked and that they showed up to team meetings, and we had control over the end client as well. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons is that there's other business models out there that literally teach you to only do the marketing and sales, and you literally go find independent contractors to do all the fulfillment. The reason what makes this business model so intriguing and so sexy is that you have reoccurring clients who will continue to pay you, like as long as you continue to service them, potentially forever. Also, from like a risk standpoint, is that depending on how you actually manage your cleaners, if the state, for example, deems that the people that you've been paying as an independent contractor, they should have been classified as a W-2 employee, they can actually take you and they can sue you for all those back taxes. And one of the final things we're gonna talk about is hourly pay versus commission pay. We did hourly pay for a while, and when we transitioned over to commission pay, like it changed everything for us. And so what it did is that it put us on the same side of the table as our cleaners. And so what I see a lot in hourly pay is that as a business owner, you're always trying to limit how much the cleaner gets paid because you start their time clock, like when they show up to the office or when they show up to the clean, do they clock out when they're done with the clean, when they get back to the office? They get drive time, all these things. And we solve all those problems by simply just paying our cleaners based on commission of the revenue generated. And we pay them a good commission. But when we're able to do this, all of a sudden the questions about, do I get paid for drive time? What about gas? Those other things, like they went away because everything was rolled into this idea of commission pay. And we get lots of tips because we ask for tips, and those tips go 100% to our cleaners. And so that's our way of saying like, hey, like you're responsible for your gas, you're responsible to use your own car. Like you don't get paid to drive, but what you do to get paid is you get paid a lot of money to actually clean the home. And it also incentivized them to actually do a good job because they were only paid by the revenue generated. If there was a correction clean or they had to go back and fix something and there was no more money generated, like they didn't get any more money to do that. So it also incentivized them to actually do a great job as well. And so when we changed from hourly pay to commission pay, it really changed everything. And so that's why the self-made model, that's why it's so valuable, right? And you can literally steal what I've been doing and you can take this into your business and you will be successful. You don't have to make the decision of like, well, should I have cars or should I have uniforms or should I do hourly or should I do commission pay? Should I do independent contractors versus should I do W-2 employees? Like you can just take my model that's worked and will continue to work and it will make you successful.
If you're a cleaning business owner and you're looking to grow your business or you're looking to start a cleaning business, I have just the resource for you. See, I did a masterclass on how to build $1 million cleaning company, even if you have zero cleaning experience. Now, here's the coolest part. I'm making this training absolutely free. Yeah, free. So what you need to do, if you want to grow your business or start your cleaning business, is you need to click the link down below, put your information in, and if this video is still up, that means that there's still spots. So look forward to seeing you on the inside.